Hello and welcome to That's Football. It's Spurs versus Dortmund live stream. Watch along. Very glad to have you all with us. Team news. This is the one we wanted to do the watch along for. Obviously, a lot of English clubs in. I'm not watching Liverpool versus Sevilla. Dortmund versus Tottenham at Wembley. For me, Spurs are arguably the best footballing side in the Premier League. Dortmund, arguably one of the best footballing sides in in Europe over the last 10 years. So Spurs, Lloris, Aurier, watch out for Aurier, Alderweireld, Sanchez, Vertonghen, Davies, sort of a 3-5-2 I think they're going for here. Son, Dembele, Dyer, Eriksen, Kane. Really good lineup from Spurs. And then Dortmund, Aubameyang's playing, Berkey in goal, I can't pronounce a lot of these names. Piszczek, Papastathopoulos, Toprak, Tolijan, Dahoud, Sahin, Kagawa, Yarmolenko, Aubameyang, Pulisic. For me, Goats is on the bench, but as is Subotic actually. But the two players I'm really looking for from Dortmund's point of view are definitely Pulisic, who I think is a really good up-and-coming American winger, and obviously Aubameyang. So good game. Really looking forward to it. My prediction is that Spurs are going to win this, but let's see how it goes. Come on Spurs, says Dragolist, and talk Red Devils. Bye-bye. And yeah, drop a like, get a sharing on the video. If you're a Spurs fan, great, but ultimately That's Football is about neutrality as well. We're just going to sit back and enjoy this game at Wembley. Spurs versus Tottenham. Pick of the round this is, and of course on That's Football we are going to do probably a couple of watch-alongs a week. We started off with City Liverpool on Saturday lunchtime. Spurs Dortmund tonight. We'll pick, I think, probably Chelsea game against, is it Chelsea City at the weekend? There is a good game on Saturday afternoon, and we're thinking of doing Spurs Swansea at 5:30. So we're going to do a couple a week, and it won't always just be Premier League teams. We've got our eye on some European talent as well. But get involved and give us your thoughts as the game goes on. Google says it'll be 2-1 to Dortmund. Kane better be on form tonight, says Dragolist again. Dylan Yap says Spurs 3, Dortmund 2. I'm sure we'll come on Dortmund, says Kofi. Aditya says 2-0 to Spurs. I'm going for Spurs. I think there's going to be plenty of goals. I'm going to go with 2-0 actually, because Spurs actually are quite good at the back. It's going to be quite interesting. And Dan Butterworth says the longer English clubs go in the Champions League, the more tired they get squads, and that's the better for the Premier League. J Day says, who's watching Liverpool? Well, who would want to watch Liverpool in all honesty? Surely you'd be wanting to watch this game, because it's the pick of the game. It's the pick of the round. Spurs versus Dortmund. Can't beat it. Nuri Sahin, Kagawa and Dahoud making up the midfield three. Pulisic, Yarmolenko and Aubameyang up front. Sort of a new Dortmund side, in fairness, to what we've seen recently. Obviously Dembele leaving, big player, but you can't knock him for going to Barcelona. But the game's about to kick off. I'm going 2-0 for Spurs. Kayam Ali says Spurs will bottle it. Kane flops versus the big club, says Cali United. That has been levelled at Harry Kane, to be fair, that in Europe Spurs go missing. But game is about to kick off. Keep giving us your thoughts. Share the video. Subscribe to That's Football if you're new. We're new ourselves, but lots of things planned for this season ahead. And Wembley. Where will the Wembley curse continue for Spurs? Everybody seems to get inspired by playing here. So let's see what happens in this game. Spurs on the attack at the moment, and well, Dortmund will get. Dortmund draw. Chad Sproul says, "Hi, Goldie mates, evening all." Mark, do you remember when Dortmund lay on their backs versus Liverpool and sang "You'll Never Walk Alone"? Ultimately, I want English clubs to do well in Europe this year, because we've got to start. Whoever you support, whether you're a United fan or Spurs or Arsenal or whatever. Sorry, Arsenal, you're not in it. That's my first bant tonight, but I want them to do well, and I like Spurs. I don't support Spurs, but I do like Spurs. I like Pochettino. I liked him when he was at Southampton. I think Spurs are I suppose if you're a Spurs fan, it's probably quite offensive what I'm going to say, because Spurs are quite an inoffensive team. They don't really do a lot to be hated, but they are an entertaining side. I like Eriksen, I like Dele Alli. Harry Kane scores a lot of goals. I like Dembele. I've always liked Dembele at Fulham as well. I like his midfield style. He drives the ball well, but he's good in the tackle. Really, really good player, Dembele, and doesn't always get picked for Spurs, but he's playing tonight. But from a Spurs perspective, if you're a Spurs fan, this game could be quite perfect for you, really. You've got to get past this Wembley thing, because I think Spurs would be a decent shout for the title in the Premier League if they can get over this Wembley curse, which I think is ultimately going to be very, very difficult for them to get over, because teams are inspired by it. Eric Dyer's just given a free kick away there. For me, it was a free kick. I thought he'd made the tackle, but it was a good decision. Lemsey wants to be a mod. Easy tubes. My best buddy joins me to mod, says George Cool. Spurs are a decent team, you know, says Kreshnik. Everyone hates us, but we don't care, says DJ Derby. I don't know who you're on about. And Blue Peaks winning. I just can't want Liverpool to do well, says Dan Butterworth. We've got any Spurs fans on here tonight? You know, that's the point of That's Football. We want to get as many fans from as many different clubs giving their opinion as possible. I don't care if you don't support Spurs and you're just watching it like me, because I saw this tie and I thought, yes, we'll have some of that. And to be honest, I think we'll probably be watching a lot of Spurs games on That's Football through the Champions League, because they've got a hell of a group, and we will be keeping eyes on that Spurs group, because whilst they also need to win tonight themselves, they also need to keep an eye on everybody else in the group. And we'll keep you up to date with all scores, but obviously Real Madrid are in Spurs group as well. No goals to tell you about at the moment, but we will keep you up to date with any of the goals. And no, there's nothing to tell you about at the moment. Dortmund play Real Madrid next. Spurs away to Spurs away to Apple Nicosia. Just looking at the potential games we might show you next time. City, Shakhtar Donetsk. I don't know. Anyway, Spurs are on the attack here with Son going into the box. Goes past his man. Needs to get the tuck back in. He scores! 1-0 to Tottenham. I thought he was a little bit selfish there, Son, but he wasn't. It's 1-0 to Spurs. He's running down the left into the box. Options in the middle, and he didn't take them. He just blasted it in. And that's the perfect start for Spurs against Dortmund. 1-0. That Wembley voodoo. Hopefully they're getting rid of that, and they've taken a deserved lead. Well, I say deserved lead. We've only been playing for what? 4 minutes, and just a long ball, really. Son headed it down to Eriksen. It's a well-worked goal, actually. Harry Kane's ball through to Son, right on the halfway line when he receives it. Running into the box, stands his man up, does him with a little bit of a feint, and then, yeah, does the keeper at the near post. Good finish. I think the keeper would have been anticipating a pullback. Lovely little bit of skill. He's an underrated player, that Son, as well. He does very, very well. 1-0 Spurs. Very, very good. Joe Parrick says yes. It's Corey says, come on Spurs. Congratulations to Spurs, says always think clearly. And Kian Gildia says goal. Let's go boys, says Dwert Marinda. And Sevilla scored at exactly the same time against Liverpool, says Matthew Gibney. That'll please a few people. I've got to be neutral on here, but Sevilla beating Liverpool 1-0. At the same time, says Flash of Thunder. Anyway, Dortmund are on the attack here. Good interception there by, I think it was Dyer, and they were nearly back in. But Dortmund, no slouches themselves, and I think we're in for a good footballing game here, which is exactly why we picked this game to watch tonight. Still Dortmund on the attack. Speculative. English teams scored at the same time. Coincidence, says Maiden Gwakiv. They didn't. Sevilla scored, not Liverpool. So Sevilla are playing Liverpool and they're 1-0 down. Golazzo, says the Devil. Lovely bit of skill by Son. As I was saying, very underrated player. Keeper, could he have done better? I think when Son gets into that position, you're expecting the pullback, and you know you caught a bit in no man's land. But lovely, lovely start from Spurs, 1-0 up at Wembley. And as I was saying before, their Premier League form, 1 point from 6 at home against Burnley and Chelsea, 6 from 6 away. I don't think Spurs are any different than the side they were last year. I just think Wembley is going to inspire their opposition and make it very hard for them. I think away from home they'll be very good, but they're 1-0 up here, and I think they've got to get over this Wembley thing quite quickly. Harry Kane dispossessed there. Interesting to see how Kagawa does. Obviously, formerly at Manchester United, just didn't work out. As a Manchester United fan myself, it didn't work out because he just didn't really get to play that often in his position, and obviously went back to Dortmund, did very, very well. I'm a big fan of Aubameyang. I've wanted Aubameyang to come to the Premier League for the last 2 years. A weird transfer window this summer, I've got to say, and I'm very, very surprised that Aubameyang ended up staying at Dortmund, because I was convinced he would move on this year. I think he is late 20s now, so very surprised to see him stay. I don't know whether he priced himself out of the market. There was talk about him going to China at one point, but keep an eye on him, because players change season to season. I've always felt that Aubameyang would be fantastic for the Premier League, but let's see. Kagawa actually there receiving a long ball from the back, and he could, if it wasn't Kagawa actually, it was Pulisic, and he could have played Aubameyang in with the first touch, but went to try and control it and didn't. Would you like as much Premier teams to go far in the Champions League, mate, says Joe Parrick. Yes, we can. Mark, can you do a watch along for Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid, says Chad Sproul. I can't, because I'll be watching Manchester United. I think it's the same night, isn't it? I'm just having a quick look. Yeah, Chelsea play on the same night as United, so United will be playing Moscow. So on the 27th, United fan, United stand, I'll have to do that. But we might be able to do a watch along for that. Might get somebody to do it. That's the idea of That's Football. We want people to get involved, so I'm sure there's a way around it. 490 of you watching. Remember to drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Be nice to get to near 15,000 tonight. Brand new channel. We've only been up in a week and a half. Daily content going up on the channel. Neutral fan channel. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's opinions welcome. We obviously did the Man City versus Liverpool game on Saturday, and we had that red card incident. No major incident in this game at the moment. It's Spurs versus Dortmund, 1-0. Son scoring in the 4th minute. But it's Dortmund at the moment. I think Spurs just maybe having a little bit of a breather, or Dortmund actually getting into the game a little bit more. Nice little overlap there. Cross comes in. Really good defending. Low cross there for Dortmund, there for Aubameyang to attack, and I think it was Alderweireld who slid in and made the interception. But they're coming back into this Dortmund, and typically like to move the game. As I've said a couple of times now already, here is Pulisic. Really like him. Does his man. Cross comes in. Good pullback. Aurier obviously just signed for Spurs. Got done by Pulisic there. I like Pulisic. I think he's great for American football. Young, potential superstar. I'd love to see him in the Premier League. I'd love to see him at Manchester United if I'm totally selfish. But he's not quite ready yet. I think he's only 18. He's probably a year off that move. But he'll be the next one, I think, to come out of Spurs, to come out of Dortmund. But yeah, we picked this game because Spurs and Dortmund, I mean, they're just good footballing sides, and Germany against England as well. A good test of the Premier League, to be honest, and where it stands. What's the score, says Michael Van Gerwen? It's 1-0 to Spurs. We will be sorting out, if you've ever watched United Stand, we have a timer and we have the scores up and everything like that. We will be sorting that out for future watch-alongs, but it's only our second one, and we've only been up a week and a half, so bear with us, and we will get there with that sort of thing. 10 minutes gone. 1-0 Spurs. Good result for Spurs at the moment, but plenty of legs left in this game, and to be honest, Dortmund have probably had the best of the play over the last 5 minutes since that Spurs early goal from Son. Lovely little intricate play from Dortmund, as you would expect, and the ability to run at players, and Pulisic again has found somebody out left. Cross comes in, overhit, just over Aubameyang, but Dortmund picking up a lot of second balls at the moment, and the Spurs fans are getting a little bit restless because that good start, but it's Spurs who are now on the back foot, and Dortmund pushing. Ball into the box, overhit, goes for the shot. What a goal! What a goal! Yamanenko, I think it is. Totally deserved. Really good play from Dortmund for the last 5 minutes. Played a 1-2 with Kagawa, received it on the edge of the box and curled it into the top corner. Lovely, lovely goal, and it's 1-1. And the Spurs Wembley curse continues again, but they've been passing the ball around so well. And lay off there by Kagawa. It's a lovely finish. Absolutely lovely finish. And we're going to get a really good angle here. Kagawa lays it off. Curls it up. Lots of height. No chance for Lloris. Yarmolenko scores it. Perfect. Perfect. Better than Son's goal. And 1-1. This is the game to watch. I told you. Told you. Dortmund have this ability every season, a bit like Monaco have been lately, just producing talent after talent after talent. They buy really good youth talent and they bring it through. Lovely, lovely goal. Can't say any more than that. Sorry, Spurs. So, back as you were. Back as you were. A lot of people asking about Yarmolenko. He's not a young player. He's not a young player at all. Andrei Yarmolenko, he is. I'm just having a quick look actually because I don't know loads about him age-wise or anything like that. He's 6'2.5". Obviously plays out on the wing. 27 years of age. And he's been at Dortmund... I'm just having a look when he signed for Dortmund. August this year, 4-year contract from Dynamo Kiev. So new signing for them. Another potentially fantastic player that they've brought into the club. Bit of experience as well. Mark, would you take Ben Yedder when Zlatan goes? He scored for Sevilla again, says Chad Sproul. I think that's a long way off. Obviously, Zlatan's not going to go till the summer. We've got Lukaku. Would we go and buy somebody who's, you know, out and out? I'm liking Pulisic though. Really, really good player. On that left hand side, I think would be perfect for United. It's all Dortmund at the moment, by the way. Spurs just went 1-0 up and then seemed to go a little within themselves. And Spurs are sort of playing like the away side. It's a little bit weird. But they've got to be a bit careful here. Cross comes in and they clear. Ooh, right. I'm from the United Stand, says Ninja. Matthew McFadden's made a super chat. He says, Yarmolenko, the BVV scorer, is a brilliant player. Been on many clubs' radars for a while now. Very physical and has a bullet of a shot on him. Not so much a bullet of a finish tonight, but a very cultured finish into the top corner. Lloris absolutely nowhere. 1-1. If you're a Spurs fan, what are you thinking? If you're just an English football fan in general, what do you think? I think from a Spurs point of view, they need to get hold of the ball a bit here. They're playing like an away side. And here's good running by Harry Kane. He's muscled his way in. He'll shoot. He scores! Oh, it's 2-1. This game is fantastic. Really, really hard working from Harry Kane. On the left-hand side, in the centre circle again. Well, not the centre circle, but on the centre line, on the left-hand side. Could have been a foul against him. Then it could have been a foul against somebody else. Forced his way through into the box. Similar position to Son again when he forces himself into the box and then just blasts it home. Harry Kane, the big game bottler apparently in Europe. Not on this form. He started off really well. He battles really well. I think it's probably a foul by Kane, but I think he was fouled before that. Stands his man up and the keeper is done to his near post again. Got to be question marks about this keeper, but fair play Harry Kane. Left foot shot. He got a lot of curl on it as well, to be fair. I don't know whether the keeper could have done anything about it because he curls it towards the goal in the gap. Lovely finish. 2-1. What a response by Spurs. Dortmund. Spurs ahead 1-0 with Son after 4 minutes. Dortmund dominating then for the next 6 minutes. They get themselves back in with a lovely goal from Yarmolenko. And then Harry Kane goes and does that. Goal out of nothing. 2-1. 15 minutes, 3 goals, Wembley, Spurs versus Dortmund, England versus Germany, 2 good footballing sides against each other. This is what That's Football's all about. Loving it, absolutely loving it. You know, I'm so glad we chose this one. We were looking at the Champions League games. Which one should we do for our first watch along? And I was like, it's got to be Spurs versus Dortmund. I like both teams. I'll definitely watch that game. Got Liverpool, Sevilla maybe, but no, this was the one to watch, and it's not let us down. 3 goals in 15 minutes. Fantastic football by both sides. Probably Dortmund the better footballing side, but beat on the near post twice, says James Cooper. Yes, disappointing. Ewan, I can't show you the match. That's not how it works. We do that, the channel gets shut down for copyright. So it's a watch along. We'll certainly keep you up to date with what's going on. But if you are watching it as well, join in. We're 16 minutes in. Get involved in the live comments. The score's 2-1, Matthew Gibney. It's an absolute cracker. Son, early goal for Spurs. Then Yarmolenko with a brilliant goal for Dortmund about 5 minutes later. And then a few minutes after that, Harry Kane, out of nothing, running down the left-hand side, blasts it in. Keeper beaten from the near post twice, but to be fair, both good finishes. Really enjoying this. And we'll tell you what, we're picking some great games, aren't we, to do the watch-alongs for. If you are new to That's Football, the hologram in the bottom right-hand corner, click and subscribe and get involved. Everybody's welcome on this channel. It's basically a football fan channel for everybody to get involved in, talking lots of different things, and a couple of watch-alongs a week where we're going to pick games that we want to watch, that we would watch, and we'll watch them together. So really enjoying this at the moment. And yeah, welcome everybody if you've joined us in the last few minutes. We're on 14,245 subscribers, very new channel, so make sure you subscribe. Make sure if you have subscribed you click that bell so you get notifications when we provide content, which is daily content, normally talking about lots of things, from transfers to in the news things, and like I say, a couple of watch-alongs a week where we're going to try and pick the best games across Europe to do. Like at some point in this season, I think it's not till December, we'll definitely do Real Madrid versus Barcelona. We'll do Dortmund Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. We'll do Monaco PSG in Ligue 1. We'll do the Milan derby. So we're going to do a lot of football because we love football. A good shot there by Pulisic. He's really stood out for me. I really do like Pulisic. 18 years of age, I believe he is now. American, left winger. Really good player. Direct. Good shot there, and a block by Alderweireld, and it goes for a corner. But there's going to be more goals in this game. Much more goals in this game. Who do I predict is going to win, says Endermelon FTW. I'm going to go I think Spurs can win it, but I think it's going to be a cracker. Corner here from Dortmund, well up by, I think that's Harry Kane who got up for that, and again. And he's been poleaxed that time, and they'll get a free kick. I think it was Socrates who did it on him, but he's up, Harry Kane. And Harry Kane will be very pleased actually, because question marks over Kane and Spurs at Wembley, but certainly in the Champions League there are question marks, but he's certainly put some of those doubts to bed, I feel. Really good. Dennis Ertums from Germany. I forgot to say that. If you're a Dortmund fan, you're more than welcome to the channel. I mean, we are obviously based in England, and we a lot of us are Premier League fans, but we will be covering other games, and generally it's just a football channel. I'll be surprised if we don't pick the sort of games that you'll be watching every week anyway. So, but this was the pick of the round for me anyway, from a neutral point of view, the game that I wanted to watch. And I don't think we've been disappointed. It's been a cracking game. George Kyle wants Dortmund to win it. This keeper is poor, says Chad. I'm sorry, but if that was Lloris, Dortmund would be winning 1-0. Was beaten on the post, both sides. Kane is class, says CFC 007. I presume you're a Chelsea fan. Best striker in the league. I think Harry Kane and Lukaku are very good strikers, and there's a debate for either. Some people would prefer Kane, some people would prefer Lukaku. What isn't in doubt is that they both score a lot of goals in the Premier League, and they both started off well in the Champions League. Let's have a look around the grounds and give you some updates on the other games that are going on tonight, because there are other games. I love the fact that the Champions League back. I love the autumn nights, and yeah, it's great to be doing this. So it's 1-0 to Sevilla after 90 minutes at Anfield. Maribor and Moscow are 0-0. City are beating Feyenoord 2-0. Very good start for Manchester City. Shakhtar Donetsk are beating Napoli 1-0. Besiktas beating Porto 1-0. Real Madrid 1-0 up against Apol Nicosia. You'd expect them to absolutely batter them. And just in case you didn't you guess the scorer. Guess the scorer for Real Madrid. It's that man again, Ronaldo. And the scorers for Manchester City, interestingly, John Stones and Sergio Aguero. So that's a good result for City. Think about English teams away to Dutch sides over the last few years, and we haven't necessarily always done that well. So they're in a comfortable position at the moment, Manchester City. I wouldn't say Spurs are in a comfortable position, but they're in a good position. 2-1 up here, but much like when they scored the first goal, it's 1-1. Liverpool have equalised against Sevilla. I fancy Liverpool to win that, to be honest. Kate is much better than Lukaku, says Alexander George. I think he means Kane, not Kate. Aubameyang needs to step up, says Alex Bork. And Porto have equalised against Besiktas. But much like when Spurs scored the first goal, they're now sitting back against Dortmund. Will they be punished again? I think Spurs are trying to just play the away weight game here. They're trying to hit them on the break, which is quite an interesting way to approach this game. But if it works, it works. 22 minutes gone. It feels like lots have happened. Lots has happened. It's currently 2-1, but I'll be amazed, absolutely stunned, if there aren't more goals in this game. It's been very enjoyable. Dortmund just passing the ball around at the moment. Spurs happy to let them do it. But they'll have to be a little bit careful. See what people are saying in the live comments. Aguero is the best striker in the Premier League. He's the only world-class striker in the Premier League, says Mark Bolton. I do like Aguero, to be fair. Aguero, can you say my name, says Ben Phillips. I can, I just did. Emre Can scored for Liverpool. I'm surprised that Can is apparently, by all accounts, going to be leaving Liverpool in January. I mean, whatever Liverpool fans think about that, it's not a very good indication when one of your better players is, looking to get a move away in January. Early goals could decide the games, says Charlie Mackenzie Ward. And Nathan Alano Derman says Kane is good, but Lukaku is better in my opinion. I think Kane or Lukaku, maybe that's a debate show we should do at some point. But Chad Sproul says that Kane isn't on a hat-trick. He's not. He's only got one tonight. Who's to say he won't be, though? Spurs just getting everyone behind the ball at the moment and inviting Dortmund on, which is very respectful of Dortmund from a home side point of view. Pochettino's clearly got his plan today, and that is to show Dortmund down the wings and pack the midfield. And at the moment, it's worked very well. They don't have to chase the game. They're 2-1 up. I mean, Harry Kane was probably fouled before, but I think he certainly did foul the Dortmund player after that. Great scenes from the Spurs fans. 2-1. I think Ryan Goodwin makes a good point. I think Harry Kane's a more natural finisher than Lukaku. But Lukaku's stronger and faster than Harry Kane. I was going to say Spurs probably want to just see this out till half time, 2-1 up, but they've still got 20 minutes to go. Not been massively impressed by Aurier, to be honest, for Spurs so far, but he's up against a very good player in Pulisic. And Man City are 3-0 up against Feyenoord now. 3-0. So City sending a message out. I think they will send a message out this season as well. I think they're going to be very, very hard to stop in the Premier League. Chelsea, United, maybe even Spurs can get involved in that. But a good result for City at the moment. You'd fancy you'd say the points are in the bag there. 3-0 up after 25 minutes. quality of the Dutch football, probably not that good. Although they did get to the Europa League final, didn't they? United beating them. But Dortmund, if you're a Dortmund fan or a Dortmund lover, you'd probably feel a little bit hard done by in this game. Certainly been the best footballing side in moving the ball around, and sort of been hit on the break twice and conceded 2 goals. Spurs haven't really done anything other than that, and they're looking to hit on the break again here, but Dortmund have won it back, and certainly playing the better football, Dortmund. And Aurier looks a little bit clumsy. Looks a little bit... I was interested to watch Aurier tonight because he was linked to United, obviously Spurs, and a couple of other English clubs, and I felt that... Oh, decent cross. Well defended. Yarmolenko coming in on the back post there, and Ben Davies did very well to hook it out for a corner from Zahin's cross. Yes, what was I saying? I feel that Aurier is a better right back than Kyle Walker, but that's based on what he's done previously at PSG, and a little bit based on stats, to be totally honest. But this is the Premier League, and will Aurier be better than Kyle Walker? We'll see. Coutinho's not playing for Liverpool. I don't even know if he's on the bench. I can find that out for you. But there's a corner from Dortmund here. It's overhit, and I'm just loving this game at the moment. Really, really, really good game. Still Dortmund. Spurs unable to get rid of that second ball. Bit of a lucky deflection there. Well cleared, and Dembele completes the job. I can tell you now, Coutinho is on the bench for Liverpool, so he's not refused to play. He's just on the bench. Salah, Firmino, Mane, pretty much the team that played against City, actually, apart from Gomez coming in for the youngster. I forget his name. Trent Arnold, is it? Or Trent Alexander? One of those two. One of those two will do. Still Real Madrid 1-0. City are obviously 3-0 up. Shakhtar Donetsk beating Napoli. I think City will get through their group quite comfortably. Shakhtar Donetsk, Feyenoord and Napoli. Spurs in a very tough group with Dortmund. Apol Nicosia will be the whipping boys, you would feel. Real Madrid. Spurs have got to win this if they want to get out of the group. And I have no doubts about that. Liverpool's group, they'll be wanting to beat Sevilla, to be honest. Although Liverpool, I think Liverpool are well set up to play away from home. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool go to Sevilla and win. We'll see. We'll see. Besiktas got his lead back, says Mladon Djorkaeff, and Costa's back in London. We're talking about Chelsea there from Bobby Charlton. And I've heard the new Lukaku chant, yep. And Liverpool made 3 changes from the City game, says 1989 Nick D. Half an hour gone. Still 2-1. Son, Yarmolenko and then Harry Kane about 15 minutes in to restore this lead for Spurs. But Dortmund have been very, very dominant in this game and moved the ball around very, very well. But Spurs have got a game plan. And as Spurs have seen over the last 2 seasons actually in the Premier League, just because you're the best footballing side doesn't mean, oh, Pulisic is in. Is he going to show his quality? Oh, he should have gone for goal himself. He should have gone himself. He gets into the box, cuts it back for it, or cuts it in forward of Aubameyang. But really good play by Vertonghen. And I think Pulisic has got to go for goal there. Tried to put it on a plate for Aubameyang. Really good play from Vertonghen. Innocence of youth, maybe. A little bit more belief in himself. But Pulisic has been fantastic for Dortmund. And they look a good team, says Vincent O'Hara, which I would agree with. Kayam Ali is suffering with man flu. Get well soon. Who would I prefer out of the Milan clubs? Tough. I'm a Juventus fan, really, when it comes to Italian football. Aurier here is doing quite well. He's got Harry Kane in down the right-hand flank here, running the channel. And I think that's going to go for a goal kick. No, not quite. Kept it in. But Spurs definitely, as I was saying, they've got a game plan, Spurs, and looking to hit Dortmund on the break, get plenty of people behind the ball and let Dortmund have the ball. And as I was saying with Spurs, playing the best football doesn't necessarily win you the game or the titles. Spurs over the last 2 years have been a fantastic footballing side, but basically second best. I know they came third in the Leicester year because they sort of collapsed at the end, but arguably the best footballing side in England over the last 2 years. No Premier League titles. So there'll be, you know, it's a different way of Spurs playing today. But, you know, Wembley isn't their home. It's not a home ground for them, is it? So maybe that's the way for Spurs to play. Instead of trying to be the home side, you know, maybe they've got to treat it as that neutral ground and adjust tactics accordingly. Not always play on the front foot. Vincent thinks Aurier looks good. I don't think Aurier's played that well. FIFA demo is good. I like it, says Chad Sproul. We're going to be doing a bit of FIFA stuff on here, actually. I don't know. Somebody let me know what what teams you can play on the demo, because I'm going to do a bit of FIFA 18 stuff. We've got lots going on this That's Football, and early days for this channel, but I hope you're enjoying it. Drop us a like. If you're new, it doesn't matter what club you support. We've got lots of stuff planned throughout the season. We're going to be doing the Milan derby. We're going to do the Madrid derby. Lots and lots of football, and lots of watch-alongs, lots of debates, lots of things planned. So get involved. Click that subscribe button. We're nearly at 14,300. The door is closed to nobody. All we want is people who love football to join in, get involved. And there's also going to be opportunities on this channel. If you're a bit of a graphics master, or you want to get in front of the camera, we've got loads of things like that going on. Loads of opportunity for content. It doesn't matter who you support. So the door is open. If you've ever heard of the United Stand, I'm a Man United fan, and we've built the United Stand community. It's fantastic, and obviously being a Manchester United fan helps for that. But this is a general football channel to appreciate football and get involved in the big debates that we all talk about. Bale demolishing Mycon, says Josie. What you do is, Mark, is train on the surface to get used to it at Wembley, says Bobby Charlton. Playing best football wins you everything. Real, Barca, Brazil, Bayern. Point surprise to this new setup. Point surprise. Arsenic Gunner in case. Playing the best football doesn't always win you the prizes, to be honest. Put case in point, Inter Milan, when they won the Champions League. They were not the best footballing side. It doesn't always happen. Leicester weren't the best footballing side when they won the Premier League. Chelsea weren't the best side. Atalanta playing Everton tomorrow. Good luck in the Europa League if you're an Arsenal fan or an Everton fan. Arsenal playing Cologne tomorrow. You know, I wouldn't, you know, as much as we joke about Arsenal, I'd love Arsenal or Everton to win the Europa League, because I want English clubs to start doing well in Europe. I draw the line at Liverpool. I can't wish Liverpool to win the league, win the Champions League. I can't wish City. Chelsea, I don't know. I probably wouldn't mind Chelsea winning. The one team I don't want to win the Champions League. This should be a goal. Oh, slipped through by Kagawa. They've got Spurs in a really good position there. He's just got to feed in the pass to Aubameyang, and he overhits it. Slide rule pass, just gets it wrong. Should have got that right, Kagawa, and Aubameyang was in one-on-one. Aubameyang, not been that impressive so far. Spurs have marshalled him quite well, but he is up front on his own with a lot of footballers behind him trying to play him in. But I feel Dortmund probably good for a draw at the moment. I don't know what you think. So Spurs should be very, very happy. Aurier coming down the right here. I tell you what, he's pulled a good cross out there. Aurier. It sort of shocked his own players, because it's been kept in by Davies over on the left. And still 10 minutes to go to half time. So cracking game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Jag Liaz says, shout me. Stop spamming the comments, Jag Liaz, or you'll get deleted. Just a little bit of warning. Dragolis says that Chelsea are going to win the quadruple. I don't think they will. I think Chelsea will win something this year, but, well, the trouble for Chelsea is, and I'll be very impressed if they can deal with it, is the yellow card for Dortmund player. No, Eric Dyer. Bit confusing there. 3 players all going in sliding. 2 Spurs players and a Dortmund player, and it's Eric Dyer who picks up the yellow card. Probably rightly so. Stood showing. Monaco have equalised, says Mladen Djurkiev. Thanks for Mladen. You've updated us a couple of times. John Massey, thanks for that update. I think very weird that was last night, but yeah. it was just a weird timing, wasn't it, the way it did it? But yeah, we'll crack on. Matthew McFadden's made a contribution. You can do that. Oh, it should have been 2-2. I think it's Pulisic at full stretch. Dortmund on the break down the right-hand side. Cross comes in, and he's at full stretch from the cross. It was a mistake by Sanchez, the new signing for Ajax. They get away down the right, and the cross comes in from Aubameyang, and at full stretch, Pulisic, he can't really do much about it. He does his best. You can make a contribution to the channel through the super chat option at the bottom, which is the $, which is Matthew McFadden has. He says, the FIFA demo teams are United, City, Chelsea, Juventus, Bayern, PSG, Real Madrid, Atletico, LA, Toronto, a team from Mexico, Japan, and Argentina. So we'll get that downloaded tonight, and we'll put up a bit of content for you at some point later on. But probably do it on this channel, to be honest. Just have a little bit of play around. I like FIFA. I used to do a series actually called FIFA Predicts, which we might bring back. Liverpool 2-1 up. I did say I fancied Liverpool to win that game. People saying it might be revenge for the Europa League Cup final. I don't think beating them in the group stage is revenge for losing a cup final, to be honest. But if Liverpool fans want to take that as revenge, that's up to them. But this is the game to watch. Very impressed. Dortmund on the break again. I think they've made the wrong choice there, and Spurs have cleared it. But I don't know. What's everybody feeling? I feel that the best Salah scored. The best team in this game is probably losing at the moment. Dortmund are the better team, but Spurs have got a game plan. Anyone else getting sick of Madrid, says enter full name. Well, Madrid are the team at the moment, aren't they? Let's be honest. Madrid are the team at the moment. They've got a very good setup, and they're the ones to topple. But I said at the start of the season, and funnily enough, Xander was like, no, Barcelona won't be any good. I think those people who were writing Barcelona off were doing it too soon. I think Barcelona are a good side, and funnily enough, Dembele is a good player, formerly of Dortmund, and Messi's obviously very good. I think the thing about Real Madrid is they've got a very good team. They're a hard-working team. They're not totally. It's not like if their big stars don't turn up, they're in trouble, because they're a very good team. Alfie Bradley's a new subscriber. There's your shout out, pal. Let us know what club you support, by the way. I know we've got a lot of United fans because they've followed over from the United stand, and you're all very welcome. You seem to embrace what the channel's all about, which is neutrality and just talking about football in general. Talisca's scored, says Asif. He was linked to United. I was very glad we didn't sign him. Cal Davies says he needs Ali to score for his dream team. I never do a Champions League dream team. I never do it. With 45 likes from 250, can we hit that? Remember to drop a like if you are watching the video. Really appreciate that. What we really want is people to come back and get involved with That's Football. We've got to grow this channel to get it to what we want it to be, which is a diverse football channel with lots of different fans from lots of different clubs getting involved and having their say. And I think when, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, when we're a little bit bigger, we'll start the Skype calls, and we'll start talking about the big debate points, and you can call in and have your say. But it's important that when we do that, we've got a good mix of supporters from different clubs, because we don't want to be, I think at the moment, if we did it, we'd have a hell of a lot of United opinion, and we want to have a diverse opinion. United fans will obviously be very welcome to call in, but we want to get as many people involved as possible. But a cracking game, this. Cracking game. Corner for Dortmund. Can they get level just before half time? No. Good header by Kane. Flicking it out. Spurs looking to break again. And they will. And if Eriksen was able to get there, no, the keeper's coming out the bar. So, 5 minutes to go to half time, and Spurs will certainly be hoping that they can go in ahead here. Do yourself a favour. Why isn't Ali playing? Says the J-Log. MC. I don't know whether he's joking or not. Dele Alli is playing. He's been very, very quiet in this game though. You're right. It's funny, I was saying at the end of the summer that I think this season for Dele Alli could be the season where he goes from Premier League star to European star. But he's not started off that well. And again, a bit like Harry Kane, he has had it levelled at him that in the big games it's not quite offside here for Spurs. It's a shame. On the break again. I'm not sure if Son was offside there. And to be honest, if he wasn't offside, that would have probably been a goal the way it was playing. He is offside, yeah. Ref's got that right. Oh no, Dele Alli isn't playing. Well, I apologise for that because I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that the BBC lineup for this game had Dele Alli in it. I was going to say he's had a very quiet game. I haven't noticed him at all. He's not in the team. I'm sure I read Dele Alli out at the start. So he's not there. You're right, but I wonder why I hadn't noticed him. Well, you can't knock Dele Alli for not having a good game, then, can you? Firmino's missed a penalty for Liverpool. And the score is 2-1 at the moment. Pumpkin Space 455 the gamer. And we're fast approaching half time. So it's impressive actually, Spurs doing this without Dele Alli, because there's no doubt he's one of their best players. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in the Champions League this year. But I think, to be totally honest, whether you're English supporting or Dortmund supporting or neutral or Spurs fan, Spurs are the underdogs in this game. Dortmund are a very, very good side, and Spurs have got no real history in the Champions League since Gareth Bale did well that season. They've struggled, and they're doing well. They're 2-1 up. I think expectations can run away with Premier League fans that, well, yeah, they'll beat Dortmund, this, that, and the other. Dortmund play in the Champions League nearly every year. Very, very good footballers. But this has been the man of the half for me. Number 22, Pulisic. Really good player for Dortmund. But you can say man of the half. It's Spurs leading 2-1 as we approach half time. We've got 14,312 subscribers. So thanks everyone who's joined us tonight. Make sure to give a watch on the channel as much as you can and get involved. We haven't picked which game from the weekend we're going to do as a watch along, but I'll have a look in a minute. And those 500 people of you who are watching can be involved in that. But Dortmund, oh, he's overcooked the cross there. Aubameyang, he was in. Cross comes in again. They're queuing up a little bit. Dortmund should clear it. No, it's in the box. Aubameyang heads it back across. Spurs, bit of head tennis in the box at the moment. Drops. Oh, he should have scored. He has scored. No, he hasn't. It's offside. Pulisic put it in the net. I thought Pulisic had actually fouled a Spurs defender. The referee was looking right at it, was happy to play on. Pulisic did play on. And I don't know. I think interference from Aubameyang. Harsh. I think Dortmund will feel very, very, very lucky. Brevy boy, why does lower part of Wembley always look empty? Well, Wembley's got like an 80,000 capacity, hasn't it? I mean, Spurs do very well to no added time. It's 45 minutes and it is done. Give us your thoughts on the half. Pulisic disallowed, says Alex, and Mojo Hammer. Chelsea Arsenal on Sunday we'll do the watch along for Chelsea Arsenal. I think that's the obvious one on Sunday. We'll definitely do that. I was thinking about doing a game on Saturday. I know Spurs are playing Swansea at 5:30, but if there's a decent European game, more than happy to do it. I think that should have been a goal. It's because Aubameyang swung at it from an offside position, but he didn't actually connect, but he probably does interfere with play. But I think Dortmund deserve to be going in at least a drawing. Very, very good game though, really enjoying it. And thanks everyone for getting involved. Yeah, Brendan Tomboy's right. Aubameyang made a play on the ball, which is effectively interfering with play. Bobby Charlton says Spurs need to wake up or they lose this game. United are playing on Sunday, Nathan. They're playing at 4 o'clock against Everton. We're still 17 likes away from 250, so if you've not dropped a like on the video, please do. Obviously, there's always a lot of dislikes on the video because people think we're going to show them the game, even though it says watch along. But people obviously don't understand what a watch along is. Spurs need to wake up. Yes, they do. Please, 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 there's a share button under the video. Just if you have any social media, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or whatever you've got, please share the link and try and let's grow this channel. The success of this channel will be basically built on how well you spread the word about it, really. We want to do something that not a lot of people are doing, and that is fan content made by yourselves, getting involved with you. That's football. That's what we want to do. And it's quite an open book, really, on what we can do. We're going to do at least a couple of watch-alongs a week. We're going to put up content around debates, like we did. Our last video was around who's got the most lethal strike force in the Premier League, and I actually did say Spurs. A lot of people not happy about that. A lot of people said City, and to be honest, you know, no issue with that. No issue at all. No issue at all. But my personal opinion is that it is Spurs. Looking at the weekend fixtures, Liverpool, Burnley. I'm not going to do a 3 o'clock kickoff. Can't be doing with that. Palace, Southampton. Nah. There's only one game that stands out as potentially on Saturday in the Premier League, which is Spurs versus Swansea. I don't really fancy doing that. Obviously on Sunday we've got the Chelsea Arsenal at 1:30, and then Manchester United versus Everton at 4 o'clock. So we'll probably do a watch along for Chelsea versus Arsenal for definite, and then United Everton. Obviously I'll be doing that on the United stand, so there's no need for us to do it here. But Chelsea Arsenal will do that. I just wanted to have a quick look at European fixtures for the weekend, because there might be something of interest that we could do on Saturday for that. So in the Austrian Bundesliga, I'm only joking. What do we got? Italian Serie A, Roma versus Hellas Verona, Fiorentina versus Bologna, Crotone versus Inter Milan. Rubbish games, to be honest. La Liga, Atletico Madrid, Malaga, Getafe, Barcelona. Not really of interest, to be honest. And yeah, there's not a lot of good games on Saturday. Maybe we won't do one. Germany, Munich versus Mainz. No, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. French League, Monaco, Strasbourg. So no, we need to sort of start highlighting when these big games are, so we can plan them out. But half-time scores: Besiktas are beating Porto 2-1. Shakhtar Donetsk are beating Napoli 1-0. City 3-0 up against Feyenoord. Liverpool 2-1 against Sevilla. Leipzig and Monaco 1-1. That's a good game. And Madrid are only 1-0 up against Apol Nicosia. Ronaldo with the goal. What a surprise. What a surprise. There's nothing really in Serie A, Luis 2705 that we would go with. CFC 007 says Dortmund are rubbish. We would trash them. As a Chelsea fan, I presume you're saying that. Barcelona on Saturday says Biarritz against Getafe. We'll have a think. But I don't think Chelsea had battered Dortmund at all. I think they could beat them because Spurs are beating them. But Dortmund are a very good side. And I think Dortmund are unlucky to be going in losing, but that's football, isn't it? Hey, I love the way we can work in the name of the channel, and I do it inadvertently. Why do we see clubs moving away from possession football to counter-attack? Says Zushas SMEFC. Well, I think Zushas, it's a good point, but it's knowing your limits, isn't it? If you're Spurs and you think, well, we haven't really got the players to play football, let Dortmund have the ball. Playing a counter-attacking football is not necessarily a bad idea. Killian Ryan's on he's a Liverpool fan. He says, we are Liverpool, tra-la-la-la. Welcome, Killian. I'm sure you're very happy at the moment. Went 1-0 down against Sevilla, 2-1 up. If I'm totally honest, I expect Liverpool to win tonight. And I think much like Spurs, if you want to progress from your group, you've got to win that game. Especially Spurs, Dortmund and Real Madrid in the group. They've got to win this home game. 67% possession for Dortmund, which is massive. Absolutely massive. But 2-1 is the only fact that matters. Alfie Bradley says, this is my favourite channel at the moment. Thank you, Alfie. Really appreciate that. And shout out for Ollie Brooks. I'm just watching the goals back and seeing if the keeper is at fault. He probably is, you know. He probably is, you know. Interesting second half coming up though. Fasten your seatbelts if you're a Spurs fan, and well, if you're any fan, it doesn't matter, because I think this is going to be, I can't see it finishing 2-1. If the game carries on the same, you'd feel that Dortmund are going to score at some time. Is a point good enough in relation to Spurs? A lovely goal by Dortmund though. You know, you talk about unstoppable finishers. The Harry Kane goal, I don't know. Maybe there were 2 fouls by Kane in that, but the referees played it on. I'm not sure. The Dortmund player probably needs to be a little bit stronger in that position. I think he takes the dive expecting he's going to get a foul, and maybe it was a foul. But I think the curl on the finish from Kane is, yeah, the keeper shouldn't be getting beaten from the front post, but the curl on the finish by Kane really does make it, and makes it come back in towards the goal. So good finish by Kane, and Spurs welcome 3 points in this league at the moment, but 45 minutes more. It's not over, but Dortmund have had their chances. Dortmund have certainly had their chances, and a decent side, as I've said. Let me get back into the live comments. Spurs must win, says Matt Hugh. I think there will be more goals, says Louis2705. Sean Winter, see you later. And if they lose this game, they 100% ain't making it out of the group. George, if you're on there and you see Sean Winter, can you just block him? That'd be really appreciated. Why do you think Salah is quality? I just seen him as a Lingard and just having a bit of luck, says Bravey Boy. I haven't said he's quality. Hi Mark, would love to get involved in this channel in any way I can. Maybe one day a call in during half time and a watch along. Thanks Shfi, definitely will get you involved. And CFC, Chelsea fans saying that Leeds lads, Spurs are doing a great job, and give them some credit. And Ox J Bizzle 1984Y says, Sergio Aguero is so underappreciated by Pep. Trying to force Jesus in ahead of him last year was ridiculous and proved that Guardiola isn't as brilliant as people think. I think I nearly called him what I call him on the United stand, but I can't do that on here because it's neutral. Thanks, George Kyle. It's Guardiola for me is a manager that was made on Messi, and I think any manager could be good with Messi and that Barcelona side. I think he's underachieved at Bayern Munich, and he's certainly underachieved at City in his first season. But Sergio Aguero, you're right, is such a good striker. Really is. Right. Who will win the league, says Alfie Bradley. I think it's too early to say, and I want to answer this question from Shaz B, who says, how's Serge Aurier doing? He's up against the best player on the pitch as far as I'm concerned, and that best player on the pitch is our man Pulisic, who I think's been absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, he's doing okay. He's certainly, I felt that maybe he was better than Kyle Walker, but it's early days. It's early days, and I think Aurier's got the potential to be better than Kyle Walker, and we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see with regards to that. But he's doing okay. But Pulisic is such a threat and such a good player that Aurier probably isn't doing as well as as he would like. Let's put it that way. But it's early days. It'd be unfair to get on his back too much. What we got? Next question, please. Pochettino, next long-term Manchester United manager. It's written in the stars, says Shvi. Spurs have identified a weakness down the sides. That's why they scored both goals from that side, says Kayam Ali. Dele Alli is out. He's out with a match ban, and Jags has confirmed that. And Pulisic is a Manchester United fan, apparently, says Say. Well, I'd love him at Manchester United. I think he's a fantastic talent. I just think he's a bit young at the moment. But then again, maybe not. Maybe not. I think that's certainly probably the reason that old Jose didn't move for him. But what a player! What a player! I really, really like him. I like him a lot. Manchester City are winning. Yes, they are. Bakayuku would bully that Dortmund midfield like he did last season, says CFC. Big Chelsea fan, he's loving it tonight. Alex Bork says, don't do an Arsenal watch along tomorrow. I certainly wasn't intending to. I've seen enough of the Europa League, to be honest. Shaz B says, will Coutinho fill the Mane void when he's suspended? I don't think that suspension is as bad as some people might think anyway, because he will be back for the... he misses only 2 league games. I think he misses a League Cup game as well, so it's not as bad. Brevy boy, do I think Mo Salah, Salah from Liverpool is quality? I think he's got to do it all season, really. He flopped at Chelsea. He's had a decent start to this season, but lots of players start a season well. It's what they're doing by the end of it that matters. Pieti Gavril says, glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur. And Isaac Bissett says it's a bit quiet tonight. I think, where are all the Spurs fans? Maybe they're all at Wembley. What's your thoughts on Jadon Sancho going to Borussia Dortmund? I think, formerly of Manchester City youth player. Remember Pep, who's big on youth, probably got rid of their best youth talent to Dortmund. He's not on the bench tonight, but I think he's a very good player. And again, I said it in the first half, it's not surprising. This is so typical of what Dortmund do. They go out and they get fantastic youth talent and they give it a chance. And Dortmund are playing a high line. They are, you're right. I agree with you, Ryan. I think Arsenal should just go all out for the Europa League, a bit like United did. They're not going to win the league, and I think they might struggle to get top 4. It's always the same, and there's only 4 places in the top 4, but there are 6 clubs that will all feel that they should be in there. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Man City, Manchester United, and only 4 can do it. So Arsenal, I think, can win that Europa League. Well, maybe that's a bit strong to say that they can win it, but they've got a good chance, and they certainly shouldn't disrespect that tournament. Chad Sproul likes it that it's a little bit quiet because the comments get read out. Theon Curtin, Dortmund on top, but Spurs are clinical. Second half's just about to kick off. You can tell because Wembley's dead with all the corporate people shoving the prawn sandwiches in their mouth. Get back in your seats. You're there to watch a football match, you corporate prats. Brevy Boy talking about Rooney going back to United on Sunday. 10 o'clock tonight on United Stand. I'm doing the preview, so we can talk about that there. Cheta says, I think Gabriel Jesus, or Jesus, or however he pronounces it, is underrated. I don't think he is at all. I think a lot of people think he's a good player. Their coaching is way better than English. Was lucky to see from my own eyes, says Mr. Man United. I think he's talking about German football in general. But Dortmund all got it all to do. And as I say, as a neutral, as I am in this, it's just a pleasure to sit back and watch it. And I think if Spurs come out with 3 points from this, they'll have done very well, because I can't see it staying at 2-1. And that means Spurs are going to have to score again. And at the moment, your money should be on Dortmund to do that, because they've... then again, Spurs will just want to hit on the break. Dortmund players just blasted it in the face of his own player there. Sai, we will do a Chelsea versus Arsenal watch along this weekend. Don't worry about that, and it will be on this channel. Mark, what do you think of Milan getting smashed after spending all that money? Says Wheelie. Money can't buy you love. Money doesn't exactly buy you everything. But Alfie says, I thought this was live for the game, and that's how I came across this channel. Now I realise that it's just as good. Best channel ever. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Alfie. It takes people a bit of a while to understand what a watch along is, but it's effectively people watching a match together and commenting on it, and it does. We like it. Roy Keane penned that phrase about prawn sandwiches, and Mark Hughes penned the hairdryer phrase, says Bobby Charlton. Thanks for that bit of history. Doesn't mean people can't say it themselves. Spurs have no pace on the counter apart from the fullback, says Ninja Sunshine 29. Lots and lots of Dortmund fans, as you would expect. Very, very passionate about their club. At Wembley. We are going to do FIFA. We're going to do some FIFA stuff on this channel, so don't worry about that. I'm probably going to do a sort of a review of every player. Not of every player, of every team. I've got a bit of a new setup now, actually. Where I've got a telly right there. I always used to... I'm not going to bore you, but anyway, I've got a new setup now, so it's all pretty much to hand, which is great. MLS Atlanta versus New England watch along in the MLS tonight after this, Mark, says Sushas. I tell you what, we have discussed that we are going to do some, you know, a bit of a laugh watch alongs. Like, we're definitely going to do the Super Bowl, just for a bit of a laugh. You know, just do some big events. And we've got a massive summer coming up anyway, haven't we? We've got the World Cup and all that. So hopefully, if the channel does well, we've got all that to come. Because I've had so many people have said to me over the years, why won't you do an England watch along? And I'm like, I don't really watch England anymore, but if I'm going to watch England, I'm certainly not going to watch it on my own. I'll do it on a watch along. So that's all on the horizon if the channel takes off. So lots and lots of things we can get involved with. And Abe says, do you think United should have signed Aurier? Well, Ashley Young was very good last night, you know. Very, very good. So maybe not. Oh, here we go. Loris is very quick off his line there. And Aubameyang was nearly through. Dortmund asking all the questions again. Kaya Mali says Martial is quality, Salah is crap. Give us your thoughts. Celtic versus Rangers watch along, says Fionn Curtin. Definitely. I just don't know when the first one is. Harry Kane just over the bar then, put into the box from the right-hand side. You've got to score those sort of chances, Harry Kane. I'm just looking at some of the fixtures, actually, just to give you sort of a heads up. Barcelona's next 4 fixtures are boring. Elba, Getafe, Girona and Sporting Lisbon, which is sort of rules them out, which I think will probably rule Real Madrid out. But let's have a quick look at what they've got. Dortmund on the attack here. Atletico Madrid, Malaga, Bilbao, Sevilla, Chelsea and Leganes. So that's that. Oh, Chelsea, Chelsea. Chelsea, Chelsea. Juventus are top of the Serie A at the moment, and their next few fixtures are Fiorentina, Torino. There's not a lot. There's not a lot. I don't know whether they do it on purpose. Son's in here. Oh, he should have scored. He was put through. Defender gets back, turns in, and puts it over the bar. 2 good chances for Spurs in the space of a minute. And they're the sort of chances on the break again. That high line of Dortmund getting penetrated. Harry Kane puts him in. He can't hit it first time because it's a bit behind him, but he beats his man. He's got to put that on target, Son. That should have been 3-1. I wouldn't say the game would be over because I think Dortmund are good enough. And now it's Pulisic coming down that left-hand side again. Away from Aurier. They're trying to get Aubameyang in, but he is being marshalled quite well. 2 good chances for Spurs there. You've got to put them away. You've got to put them away, is what I would say. Let's have a quick look at the Scottish football. Obviously, they play each other 4 times up there, so they should be playing Rangers at some point in the near future. Rangers versus Celtic is a 12 o'clock kickoff on Saturday the 23rd of September. So we'll definitely do that one. Well said, that person. We'll do that, 23rd of September, which is a Saturday, which is a week on Saturday. So we'll do that. Rangers Celtic. Interesting, interesting. Any other goals to tell you about in the old Champions League? Still 2-1, Liverpool-Sevilla, still 3-0, Manchester City versus Feyenoord. Still Real Madrid only 1-0 up against Apol Nicosia. That's got the look of an accumulator breaker, hasn't it? A late goal from Apol Nicosia. You know, weird results do happen when you put it on nailed on ones. We are 9 away from 300 likes on the video, and we are 9 away from 14,350 subscribers. So if you are new, get involved. Not massive viewing numbers, but not unhappy with it. This was the game we wanted to cover, Spurs versus Dortmund. And if you are a Spurs fan, get involved. If you're a Dortmund fan, get involved with this channel. We want as many football channel fans from as many clubs as possible to get involved with this channel, which will then allow for a diverse and open debate about the game that we love. Real Madrid have got a penalty. Mega AAA 909 is obviously a Rangers fan because he says, "Come on, the Rangers." And I'm very well, Dil Law here. I hope you're very well too. And it's been a pleasure to watch this game with you because I would have watched this game. And to be honest with you, my wife's not going to watch Spurs versus Dortmund, but I would. I'd be sat on my own. So doing a watch along, that's the idea of That's Football. Doing it when I'm watching a game. I won't do all of them because I do watch some crap as well. But George Kyle says Real Madrid would have been the game to cover for viewers, Mark. Yeah, but it's not all about that. It's about quality, isn't it? And I would rather watch this game than Real Madrid versus Apol Nicosia, if I'm totally honest with you, George. You don't win friends with salad. Spurs off time again. I think Spurs are coming into this game a little bit more now. It's not total dominance from Dortmund, although they are still having a lot more of the ball. 55 minutes gone. Dortmund on the attack again. It will low in, and good defending again. Spurs defending very well at the moment. Very well at the moment. And they're having to. Another corner for Dortmund. I don't think they're going to get much joy from a corner, to be honest. I may be wrong. Oh, they're in on the back. Oh, what a finish. Offside. Offside. Aubameyang. The first chance he's really had. Crossover onto the back stick. He's still about 10 yards away when he gets it over on that far left-hand side. And if he's offside, which he's not, he's miles onside. And it's a lovely goal. And they're very unlucky because that is not offside. Shocking decision by the linesman. Should be 2-2. It's not 2-2 because it's given offside and it was not offside. Poor linesman decision. Lots of Dortmund players coming back from an offside position, but Aubameyang's not. They're not interfering, and it's well, it's still 2-1, but poor decision. Poor decision by the linesman. And Dortmund should be 2-2, and Spurs very lucky. But then again, Spurs have had their chances. And here's Kane again down that right hand side. He was going to shoot every day of the week, and I think it's gone for a throw-in or a corner. Remember, subscribe if you're new. Quite a few of you watching at the moment. That's football, and it was onside, Alex Burke. You're right. It's 2-1 to Spurs at the moment, and linesman's paid the referee, says George Kyle, who's very firmly in the Dortmund camp from the comments he's been making tonight. Pulisic and Aubameyang disallowed, says Dan Butterworth. I think the Pulisic goal was right to be disallowed, but the Aubameyang one is just a terrible bit of refereeing from the linesman there. Not refereeing, you know what I mean. But here's Aurier, who has got a decent cross on it. Aurier's got a good cross on him, by the way. Well, I would say that. And he's had a really big test tonight because he's a good player. Although it's a foul. I think he'll get booked there, Ben Davis, because no, it's not Ben Davis, it's Vertonghen. Dortmund were on the break there, but Spurs are going to have to work hard in this. Very hard, because Dortmund are good for a point, that's for sure. Humi was onside. Come on, Spurs, says Mega. Hodgson will put Benteke on corners. I think people are talking about the Crystal Palace thing there. In relation to De Boer's sacking, it's a joke, but that's modern football for you. There's no way he should have been sacked after 4 games. I know they've lost 4 games, and maybe long term he would have been sacked, but you can't give somebody 4 games and sack him. That's just ridiculous. But it's modern football for you, I suppose. Many clubs are run by plonkers. He's going to hit this, I think. Dortmund, about 35 yards out. Doing very well to beat... no, Aubameyang's going to hit it. You're not going to beat Lloris from there. I don't know why he even tried. And over the bar it goes. Kieran Burns says he's thinking about putting Herrera and Aguero in my fantasy football instead of Pogba and Chicharito. Thoughts? I've got Chicharito in mind. And, I'm loath to take him out. Aubameyang is so onside. So onside. That's just ridiculous linesman, that is. Really bad to get that wrong. It wasn't even marginal. He's just totally and utterly been lazy and seen Dortmund players coming from offside positions, but he was so onside. Son's in here. Does well into the box. Going to use Aurier for the cross there. He does finally. And Aurier crosses well with his left. Oh, he's got 2 feet on him. 2 feet on him, Aurier. He's shown he can cross with his left and his right. Dembele, very quiet today, but he's had to do a lot defensively. Eriksen, this could be 3. It is 3! Harry Kane, 3-1. And I tell you what, you've got to applaud Spurs. You've got to applaud Spurs. Because Dortmund have been the better side. Spurs have been very, very clinical. And they worked it in there. They worked it out to Harry Kane on the edge of the box. He gets it on his left foot, hits it low into the far corner. Brilliant. Brilliant if you're a Spurs fan. Brilliant if you're a neutral English fan of the Premier League. And to be fair to Spurs, I think it's a lovely little roll into Eriksen. Rolls it out to Kane. and picks his spot through the legs of the Dortmund defender into the bottom corner. And Spurs will take a lot of confidence from this, because as we know in the Premier League, Spurs would not play like this. They wouldn't play on the break. They would they'd go at teams like Dortmund are going at them. But smart from Pochettino tonight, deliberately setting them up to play on the break and letting Dortmund have a lot more of the ball. And it's worked a treat. It's worked an absolute treat. And as Carmichael says, fair play to them. I know we've got a lot of Dortmund, a lot of people on tonight who are fans of Dortmund. I'm not a Dortmund fan. I like Dortmund and I like Spurs, and that's why we picked this our watch along tonight. But I wouldn't, I will favour Spurs because obviously English and the Premier League and that. And I do find Spurs to be quite an inoffensive club. But I wouldn't be moaning if Dortmund won it, and they've been very, very good, Dortmund. But this could be massive if Spurs can get the 3 points from this in the context of the group. Be massive for them, because I don't think there's any doubts that Dortmund are the better side, but the better side doesn't always win the game. And Pumpkin Space 455, the gamer, says, "Come on, you Spurs." And Ox says it reminds him a game of FIFA. Dortmund have been robbed, says Cali United. And if Kane gets a hat-trick tonight, he would be feared in Europe, says Drago List. Let's not forget, 2-1, Aubameyang is onside, he scores, disallowed. A few minutes later, Spurs up the other end, 3-1. But Dortmund starting to lose their composure a little bit in this game. Sevilla coach has been sent off, says 1989 Nick ID. Still 2-1 to Liverpool there. They'll be getting a little bit squeaky bum time, I suppose. They'll really, really want to win that game. Really, really want to win that game. But have Dortmund got anything in the tank? Who knows? One thing's for sure, they're going to feel very hard done by. Oh, we should have kept that in, the Dortmund play there. But 3-1 to Spurs, Dreamland. And also, let's not forget, let's give Spurs their due, because I think Pochettino yet again has probably pulled off a masterstroke here. Wembley voodoo, 1 point from 6 in the Premier League, struggling to impose themselves at Wembley, and he plays like an away side. And how well it has worked so far for Spurs in this game. Half an hour to go, 3-1 up. Corner for Dortmund here. You feel they're going to have to do something a little bit special to get back into this game, but Spurs have defended well. And they've defended that corner well as well. And here's Aurier over in the left back position at the moment, charging forward, but he's lost it. And Dortmund are going to tire in this next half an hour as well. They've had a lot of the ball and put a lot of effort in this game to be 3-1 down. And you wonder if Spurs will just feel a bit rejuvenated now. Cross was on to Harry Kane there. He was in all sorts of space. The Dortmund defence is starting to look a little bit tired to me as well. Interesting game. Good game, good game. It's a good game. It is a good game. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Thought Kane was in there. He's not. Don't worry. Definitely picked the right game though. Definitely picked the right game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for everyone who's been getting involved. Remember, if you are new to That's Football, drop a subscribe. Hologram in the bottom right hand corner. Daily content. A couple of watch-alongs a week. Covering pretty much a lot of Premier League, but we will be doing some of the big European games. As I said, Celtic versus Rangers, a couple of weeks' time on a Saturday. We'll do that. We want to do the big games from the leagues. City 4-0 up. The press will be very proud of Guardiola. Nearly called him Fraudiola again. Guardiola. They love him and they'll love that. They'll see that as a big statement. But I think this is a bigger one. Mario Götze coming on for Dortmund. Some people might be quite surprised that he didn't start, but a bit of a fallen star. Good player at Dortmund, went off to Bayern Munich, didn't work out for him. Sort of lost his way a little bit. Can he find it? Can he find his way? They've got 25 minutes to get back into this. A goal from Dortmund now would set it up. 3-3. It's all got a ring to it, hasn't it? But Dortmund, they'll have to go some to get that. I think Spurs have done well to score 3 goals on the break with a team that's not that quick. The Tongans come forward here. Here he comes, Goats. He's going to come on for Kagawa. Not had a great game, Kagawa. Pretty reminiscent of his Premier League career for Manchester United, to be honest. But Mario Götze, can he make an impression? Looks a bit bulky to me. Looks like he could lose a bit of weight, but it is just the summer. Here we go. Oh, nearly getting him in. Eriksen's a bit like David Silva tonight. He's just picking out passes. Tell you what, I don't know what people think about this Sanchez lad that Spurs have bought from Ajax. He's been a bit, some good things, but also a couple of clumsy things as well. Ben Davies here on the left. Ooh, it should have been 4. It's a good save by the keeper. It's about the first good save he's made all night. But at full stretch, tipping it away. Lucky a Spurs player wasn't there to follow it in. If Spurs get another one, it's game over. I think Dortmund are probably just starting to lose their way a little bit in this game now. Heads starting to drop. Mladen says, what a wonderful night. I've come back from college and I can rest and relax with Mark. Anything better? Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed this tonight. It's certainly a game I would have watched anyway, so it's a pleasure to go live and share it with all you lots. Sanchez is fast and strong, but rash in the tackle, says Dan Butterworth. He played well against Rashford, to be fair, when we played them, says Carmichael, talking about the Europa League final. And John Stones is on a hat-trick. Oh, it's an odd night. Fionn Curtin can't wait for the weekend, but got a grind between Thursday and Friday. You could do a scout watch, Fionn. I know you're a United fan. You could do a scout watch tomorrow night and watch Everton play Atalanta. Come on, you Spurs, says Fuse Remix. Must be very exciting if you're a Spurs fan. Champions League group, this is a must-win for them, but by no means, and I think the way the game's gone, if this was to finish 3-1, I wouldn't say Spurs have been fortuitous, it's just a game plan that's worked. But Dortmund have been the better footballing side, which is odd because Spurs are a good footballing side. I just think they've set themselves up very tactically well tonight. Is Harry Kane again? He's had a good game, Harry Kane. I think he'd be man of the match, wouldn't he? 2 good goals. Ran the line very well. Proved himself in Europe, which will please a lot of people, not just Spurs fans, but England fans as well. World Cup year. Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Dele Alli, big players. Here is Mario Götze. He's done well. No, he hasn't. He's lost it, but it's another corner. I don't think Spurs will be too worried about corners, to be honest. CFC standing by. He says Spurs have been much better than Dortmund. Dortmund are like Klopp, no plan B. Food for an elite side like the Chelsea. Spurs have no pace. Imagine Hazard and Willian on the break against these farmers. 6-0. I'll give him his dues. CFC 007. He's very loyal to Chelsea. I think Dortmund have been good, but I think he is making a good point. Dortmund have been quite toothless. I mean, here we go. Oh, good save by Lloris on the back post from Aubameyang. But to be fair, the header should have been scored, and I think that's pretty much what CFC 007 was saying. You know, Dortmund, very, very good football inside, but not clinical enough. And here we go. Son's in. Will he get the pace away? He's going to get the shot away. Good defending. Good defending to block it, but that could have been 4. Toljan with the defending there. But the cross comes in here. Free header for Zahan. Misses it. Goes to Aubameyang on the back post, and Lloris makes the save from the shot. But that should have been a goal as well. It's that's football. It is. I know it's a cliche because that's the name of the channel, but that is football. Dortmund had a goal disallowed at 2-1 that should have been given. But I get what people are saying. Dortmund they need to be a little bit more clinical. And then maybe that's why Bayern Munich always win the league. I don't think there's worlds apart. Oh, good header there from Alderweireld over the bar. They do need a decent keeper, Dortmund. I'd agree with Dan Butterworth on that. How well think Spurs do, says G-Bots. I think Spurs have played a very, very good tactical game tonight. They made another substitution here. Dahoud's gone off and Castro's come on. Mahmoud Dahoud's a good player. But Spurs have played a tactical game tonight that's really surprised me. They've not gone all out at Spurs for this game. They've sat back, they've hit them on the break, and they're going to reap the rewards. 1,000 sub without video says Pogba's out for 6 weeks. I don't know whether that's been confirmed yet, but I pretty much thought that would be the case. Just watching Dortmund on the attack while I have a quick look at that.
At Toolstation, we're always on hand to supply the tools and materials you need.
Right. Spurs is Harry Kane. He's going to play the cross in. Ooh, didn't quite make it past the defender, but they've got Dortmund on the ropes now. The next goal is going to be key. 18 minutes left in this game. The next goal is going to be key. Spurs pushing up for it. Dortmund trying to push up and getting hit on the break now. Pogba's out for 4 weeks, says Ryan Garton. I did say the Liverpool game. He'd be pushing it for that, to be fair. Offside for Spurs. India United says City have got a scary squad and scary attacking options. It's still early days in the season. I remember City starting off very well last year, but I do think that they've got to be considered favourites for the title. They've got a very, very good, lots of attacking talent. They spent nearly £200 million on their defence. They've got to be considered favourites, and also it's Guardiola's second year of spending a lot of money. He's got to win something. And, I know it's Mourinho's second year, but he had a lot more work to do with United than Guardiola did with City. And Mourinho did win 2 trophies, one of which they've never won before. Good play by Aurier there. Pulisic standing him up, and he thought he was past him, but good slide tackle. You feel Dortmund, well, 3-1, still 15 minutes, not panic stations yet. I think 1 goal in that last 10 minutes is certainly going to open this up. It's 2-2. With Liverpool and Sevilla. That would be a blow for Liverpool, but they've still got 15 minutes left to get the winner. I did say that, didn't I? If you're a Liverpool fan, 2-1. You need that third to kill it. Nothing happens from the corner for Dortmund. I'm just watching a couple of the chances there. Good save from Lloris from Aubameyang. We've just had a spike of people watching. Don't forget to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and get involved with That's Football. We've got lots of watch-alongs and football debate as the channel gets bigger and bigger. We're going to have call-ins and everything like that. So if you found it, get involved with the community. But Harry Kane's down the right here. If he gets this cross right, why didn't he play it? What was he waiting for? Ericsson. He shoots over the bar. I don't know why he didn't go for Ben Davies there, Harry Kane. He seemed the cross was on. He just didn't want to play it. He's had a good game though. We can't knock him too much. Sevilla have scored. Philip Coutinho is preparing to come on for Liverpool. Carmichael says the atmosphere will be dead at Liverpool now. We already have a history though, and greatest manager. I don't think there's a conversation going on there. Yeah, like, share and subscribe, says George Kyle. I think probably the next video on the channel, we're going to do a couple of sort of FIFA 18 things, playing as different teams, and because we will have FIFA 18 content. Watch along at the weekend will be Arsenal Chelsea. Is it Arsenal Chelsea? Yeah, we'll be doing that. Interesting for Arsenal though, isn't it? It's a bit like Everton United on Sunday. United played last night, Chelsea played last night, 5 days rest, and Arsenal still have got to play tomorrow, and Everton have got to play tomorrow. They're going to really see, you know, that 48 hours between a game. Wenger's going to go mad. You've got to get on with it, Wenger. You know what? Somebody's just said something very, very valid, actually. Let's. You could switch to the Liverpool game. No, we'll stick with this. We'll be fair. We'll stick with this. Because I think they're slightly behind us anyway. CFC says that Harry Kane's better than Shearer. He's obviously drinking. No way. Mojo Hammer says Liverpool have had 22 shots, Sevilla have had 6. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool got a winner. I did think that they would win that game. Coutinho is on. Josie says we are Tottenham, Super Tottenham. We are Tottenham from the lane. Well, if you are a Spurs fan, you should be very proud of them tonight. I think it's been a total contrast to the way Spurs normally play, where they're the team that tries to play football. And fair play to Pochettino. Same for United last night. Same for Sevilla tonight. Same for Liverpool tonight. You know, I know there's 6 games in the group stage, but when you look at it, these games you've got to win this game. United had to beat Basel last night because it's their easiest home game. If you don't lose that, it puts you on the back front. And Liverpool tonight against Sevilla and Spurs tonight against Dortmund. If they want to progress from the group, they've got to beat these teams, because especially Spurs with Real Madrid in the group and only 2 going forward. They've got to beat Dortmund at home to give themselves a chance, and at the moment it looks like they're going to do that. So I like how Pochettino's approached this. He's not got good, you know, they're at Wembley. They've got that Wembley problem that inspires others, and instead of just going toe to toe with them, and no Dele Alli as well, they've thought, you know, I'm going to play defensively on the attack, on the counter attack, and Dortmund have allowed them to do it because Dortmund have got a way of playing, and that is to be progressive with possession, but it's suited Spurs to a treat. It's like Spurs have been in the away side, and they'll certainly take this blueprint to the Dortmund game when they have the return fixture, and I think Dortmund will struggle again. But if you're a Dortmund fan or lover, I agree, you probably would be looking at this going, I don't understand how we've not at least got a draw from this. But ultimately I think you've not got a draw from it because clinically and in that final third it's just missing a little bit. Final substitution for Dortmund here. It's going to be an attacking one. It's Toprak coming off and it's Zagadou coming on. No, it's not an attacking one. Harry Kane's in here. Oh, he's just put it wide, and I think people thought it might have been offside. That would have been game over. It's not a corner, Harry. It's not a corner. Cuba game, Dortmund are very good. Professor FC, Shearer can score from anywhere and has a rocket but a shot, and defenders were quaking in their pants when he played. Kane isn't on that level yet. I'm old enough to know for a fact that Harry Kane's nowhere near the player Alan Shearer was yet. Nowhere near. Dan Butterworth sums it up well. He says Dortmund are not clinical, their keeper is crap, and defence is clearly not good enough. And Alex Pro Gaming 123 says BVB, Dortmund have been very unlucky. And Mr. Manchester United says, I would love to see Aubameyang come to the Premier League. I've seen enough from Aubameyang again. I've said it for a number of years now. I think he'd be perfect in the Premier League, whether it's at City or Chelsea or I'm not going to say United or Spurs because they've got Kane and Lukaku, but I think he'd score a lot of goals. And I think tonight he's been unlucky. He took his goal very well. It was given offside. He was onside. He should have probably put the one away that Lloris saved, but it was a good save from Lloris. Alfie Bradley, shout out. Givas Gaming 1908 says Tottenham have been very good. I like the Tottenham game plan tonight. It's, you know, they've not been the better footballing side, but they've certainly played well. Another chance for Dortmund goes missing. Pulisic, sorry, good cross. Arthur LA says, can we expect a Manchester United career mode for FIFA? If there is to be a FIFA career mode, it will sit on this channel. And what we'll probably do is, I'll consider doing it, but I will be guided by you lot, and you can vote for which team you want me to do. I know we've got a lot of United fans on here at the moment, but I think in a couple of weeks that will change, hopefully, and we'll have a bit more even spread. And if I do a career mode, I'll do what I did on the United stand. It'll be live. It'll be done live. But this is looking like a fantastic win for Spurs. Let's be honest, it is. There's only 8 minutes to go. Who do I think will win the Champions League, says Dil Lahea. I'm going to go... I think Barcelona are going to have a good season. Now, whether that means they'll win La Liga or whether that means they'll win the Champions League, I do think that Barcelona will have a good season. I mean, Real Madrid have got to be the favourites. I want anyone. I tell you what, the hardest question for me would be, who do you want to win the champ? If only one of these two teams are going to win the Champions League, you've got to choose one, Liverpool or PSG. I'd have to go PSG just because I don't want Liverpool to win it, but I really don't want PSG to win it. I find them disgusting, what they've done. I really do. So I don't want them to win it. So I hope... I don't think an English club will win it. I just don't think they're good enough yet. But it would be nice if a few of the English clubs got to the latter stages. Llorente's coming on for Spurs. I forgot they'd signed him. I think he'll be a very valuable player for Spurs over the season. When the Harry Kane was out injured last year, it did hurt them a bit, and he runs like mad. He runs like mad, that Harry Kane, and they'll certainly benefit from Llorente, who is, he's no Harry Kane, but he's a similar sort of strong player up front. This is a cracking win for Spurs. If you're a Spurs fan, you should be very proud. They've done very well tonight. Tactically, not the better footballing side, but tactically very, very, very clinical. And it's worked very well for them. It's not over yet though. I mean, if Dortmund could just get a goal, it would set it up nicely. But I do feel that are Dortmund capable of getting 2 goals in 5 minutes? They're a footballing side. They're not really a side that's going to pummel the opposition with high balls. They're going to have to pass their way through. And I think at this late stage, if you're a Spurs defence, you probably feel quite confident that you can hold them at bay. There's a few people laughing at Liverpool, but as far as I'm aware, they are only drawing. They're not losing. And they've still got a good few minutes left in that game. 8 minutes, in fact. Slightly behind this one. Dortmund shoot wide. You've got to feel there's a late winner for their Liverpool, surely. Surely there's a late winner for Liverpool. Harry Kane's gone off for Llorente. Fionn Curtin wants Sevilla to hold out for a point against Liverpool. Mane is off. How's Aurier doing, says Corey Brown. He's had a much better second half, but I think for me he's been up against Dortmund's best player, which is Pulisic. So it's hard to judge Aurier in a game like this, because most of the season he'll play, you know, much easier wingers to play against, and maybe he'll have more of an imposing game. But he's had a decent second half, Aurier. But it's definitely been a tough game, because Pulisic was very, very influential in the first half. Where do I think Spurs will finish in the Premier League? Eric Q says. I think Spurs should finish in the top 4. They are arguably one of the best footballing sides in the league, and have been for the last couple of years. The big thing about Spurs is where they're playing tonight. They're very good away from home, but it's what they're going to do and how many points they're going to pick up at Wembley, which is their home game. It's, you know, financially they're making a lot of money from it, but points wise, I don't know how many points they're going to get. You know, if they were at White Hart Lane, they would be one of my favourites for the title, because they were very good at White Hart Lane last season. But the Wembley thing, it's difficult, and we've already seen it. You know, you can expect to lose to Chelsea, of course you can, but when you've got Burnley and you're drawing at home to Burnley, because Burnley are coming to Wembley and it's like a cup final for them and they're inspired, that makes it very difficult when that's your home ground. And we've seen it over the years when Arsenal have played at Wembley in the Champions League. They never really did anything. It's very, very hard, because the opposition come and they're inspired. Tottenham are winning. Says Tottenham are winning. Sorry, Daffy's asking for the score. It's 3-1 to Spurs. On future watch-alongs, we will actually be having the score up and the timer. It's just that it's early days with this. But it's 3-1 to Spurs, and there are literally only a couple of minutes left. There's only a couple of minutes left, but Dortmund are on the attack here, and he's tried to do too much there, Pulisic. But they're still on the attack. They've got it back. Just running out of ideas, Dortmund now. I think Spurs are safe. Dortmund look very tired. And Spurs are getting everyone behind the ball. And I don't think Dortmund have the ability to just put a ball into the box. It's all very intricate. And, you know, they're trying to run through 4 or 5 players. I don't think it's going to happen for them tonight. Besiktas are beating Porto 3-1 away from home. Tottenham play Swansea on the weekend, says it's Corey Z. I think it's at Wembley as well. Do you think Arsenal will go all out for the Europa League, says Zed Jamie? I don't. I think Wenger actually believes he can still do very well in the league, and I don't. Mr. Man United says that Sevilla are not sitting back and they're attacking. We've only got a couple of minutes left in this game, and you don't tend to get loads of stoppage time in the Champions League, but thanks for everybody who has got involved with this channel and watched the watch along tonight. I was always going to watch it anyway, so it's nice to do the watch along. That's the point of the channel. That's football. 4 minutes will be added on. Make sure you just spread the word. Let's see where we can go with this channel. We want to try and get as many fans from as many clubs involved as possible, and then as soon as we feel we've got a diverse audience commenting and everything, we're going to start doing the Skype shows like we do on the United Stand, where you lot can call in and we'll talk about the big debates. I'd certainly want to talk about PSG and that at some point, the big topical points. So that's football. Subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner on the hologram, and spread the word. Whatever club you support, you're going to know fans from other clubs. Get them involved. That's what we want to do. Shakhtar are beating Napoli 2-1. Very surprising, says Zed Jamie. I think that's City's group, isn't it? I mean, City are not going to have any problems in that group. I think they'll qualify very quickly, to be honest. Llorente's won a... Oh no, he's not won a free kick. Ref says stay on. Play on. CFC's been very opinionated tonight in a good way. I've liked your opinions, pal. He says Italian teams are crap. Oxlade Chamberlain's on for Salah. Says Mr. Manchester United, Wenger is deluded. He still thinks it's 2003 and Arsenal are still competitive, says Mark Bolton. What would you say about the absence of Dele Alli, says Arcel. Well, there's a red card here. There's a red card right at the end for a Spurs player. There's always a ref to ruin it, isn't there? I didn't even see what happened. I was reading your comments, but Vertonghen's sent off, which means he didn't have a yellow, so it's a straight red. We're talking about how they missed one player. They're going to miss another one now for a couple of games in the Champions League. Ref seems very sure. Vertonghen on the ball. Oh, come on. That's not a red. He's got the ball. He goes to hold off the player and catches him in the face with his hand. He can't even see the player. That's not a red card. The ref may have perceived it from his angle that he's swung an arm at him, but he definitely hasn't. It's very, very harsh, as Carmichael says. The Formals line says it's an elbow. No, he's not even looking. He's just trying to hold the player off like that, and maybe it does catch him, but it's not a red card, that. But just going back to that, Spurs have done very well. Dele Alli, I said it at the start of the season, this is a massive season for Dele Alli. Can he go from being one of the Premier League's best players to one of Europe's best players? And Spurs have done it without him tonight, and they'll take a lot of confidence from that. But to be honest, if you're Spurs, the Real Madrid games are a bonus. If you can get points against Real Madrid, great. But I imagine Real Madrid will be looking to beat Dortmund home and away and Spurs home and away. So really it comes down to what Spurs do in the Apple Nicosia games and what they do in the Dortmund games. And they've beaten Dortmund in the home game. And if they played like this in Dortmund, I think they could beat them in the away game. Because it's just a tactic and it's worked very, very well for them. So, Spurs can have confidence that they've got a good opportunity to get through to the group stage. Oh, here we go. We've got a Spurs player in here. If he scores this, it'll do wonders for their goal difference. He did rubbish, whoever that was. Absolute donkey. He's awful, isn't he, Sissoko? He is. He's a bad footballer. He's through one-on-one there. And he's slower than a truck with biscuit wheels driving through a cup of tea. Going backwards. Well, we know Spurs have won this game. What I'm going to do is, I have to go and do... I can't do it from here. I've just got to get me remote control. And I'm going to put the last couple of minutes of the Liverpool game on and see what happens there. Because it's interesting, isn't it? Still 2-2 in the Liverpool game. I've got it up now. Spurs have won. Well done to Spurs. Well done, lads. You've done very well there. But we're 2 minutes into the Liverpool... I'll turn this on now and they'll score because Coutinho's on the corner here. And then everyone will say, if you didn't want Liverpool to win, that's your fault. Corner comes in, header, straight at the goalkeeper. 2 minutes to go, and it's Liverpool 2, Sevilla 2. If you're a Manchester United fan, by the way, I do the United Stand, which is Manchester United's biggest independent Manchester United fan channel on YouTube. That was a sentence and a half. And I will be doing a Manchester United versus Everton preview. We normally do it at 8 o'clock. We do 8 o'clock shows every night, but because I was doing the I was always going to watch the Spurs game. Oh, Sevilla. Oh, tell you what, he's just wide. And they nearly won it there. Sevilla late on. That would have been funny. 10 o'clock tonight, I'm doing the Everton preview. So join me for that if you want. Rooney's return. That's on the United Stand. In fact, the live stream, the video's up. You can go and talk in the comments, but we'll be live. So, disappointing this for Liverpool. They just had a player sent off as well. Second yellow card. Gomez. To be honest, looking at that chance, Sevilla nearly won it. Uh, 30 seconds left. I haven't watched the game, so I don't know whether Liverpool will feel that they've been robbed or not, but Sevilla certainly will be very happy with this point. Is that Nzonzi playing for them? He's a very good player, Nzonzi. I don't know whether he left Sevilla in the summer or not. I think he still plays there. And that is it. 2-2 for Liverpool. So, not a great start. I still think Liverpool will get through that group. But Klopp's having a rant about something. He's obviously not very happy. Nutty Klopp. Anyway, we'll be back. We'll be back on That's Football. We've got lots planned, so make sure you've subscribed to the channel and all of that. Thanks everyone for watching tonight. We're going to pick some really great games throughout the season to do watch-alongs on. We picked the right one tonight. Well done to Spurs. Yeah, I just think Pochettino, I'm very impressed by Pochettino anyway, and I think his tactics tonight, for a man who normally plays very expansive football, to sit back at Wembley as the home side and play like an away side and hit them on the break and let Dortmund try and ticky-taka their way through. Well done to Spurs. Good win. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining That's Football. Lots of content to come. Spread the word about That's Football to all your friends who just like football and get involved. And I'll speak to you all later. I'm on the United Stand at 10 o'clock if you're a United fan for the Everton preview. Speak to you all soon.